Hi guys, and welcome on with our podcast. And in this week's episode, I'm gonna speak about Star Wars because that's the franchise I chose to have a rewatch on my Christmas break. And I was so emotionally involved with the whole stuff that was happening that I need to record this episode in order to get over it so I can probably watch Stranger Things. I do believe that Star Wars is the best franchise that ever exists because it's amazing for me how George Lucas came up with that story on his own because it's not like history based anything. There's nothing history based in that, and for me it's amazing how he came up with that. And oh my god, I mean, George Lucas, respect, that's amazing story. And I'm gonna start by just showing you my ranking on Letterboxd. You can go and check it out. The list is called franchises, and my account is called Their Podcast, so you can go and check it out. So we're gonna go from my favorite to my least favorite. Episode 3, Episode 2, Return of the Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back, Episode 1, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Star Wars The Rise of the Skywalker. So you can see kind of that the sequels, the later it came out, the worse it got. So yeah. But we're gonna actually start speaking about the correct order of how you should watch it, because we all know that the chronicle order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? That's the correct order that it was happening in. But it came out 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. A lot of numbers, I know. And I watched that this way. I heard that there's some different orders of how you should watch it. Maybe I'll try it next time, but now I watch this way because, as I said, it's a rewatch. I already watched that, but I watched that when I was a kid. I'm still a kid, but when I was way younger. So I kind of didn't remember all the details, and I think that the details made a huge job. But I did remember all of those major plot twists, so maybe I should watch it in a chronicle order, but I didn't because I was forced this way. And I'm gonna start about my favorite trilogy, which is prequels. The prequels have an amazing story about Anakin. I really like that this is all just focusing on Anakin's backstory. It's really interesting how he it's basically a story of Anakin, and I love this. The whole story with Padme, their love story, is also really nice written. And I'm gonna say this, that prequels have the best lightsaber fights ever. And that's why I really like the order I watched that. Because if I would watch the Obi-Wan versus Anakin lightsaber fight on the end of episode 3, I would be really disappointed when I would watch the episode 4 Darth Vader versus Luke lightsaber fight. I would get really disappointed. Also, the Republic, it had so much aura and it was such a respected stuff. I mean, it looks so clean and so perfect. The whole stuff. I mean, the Old Republic. You can see later that it does not have as much power as it used to have. As I was watching the prequels, I had this dilemma of, was Anakin always on the dark side? Because Yoda said that fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. And that this is all on the dark side of the Force. And Anakin was, I think, always on the dark side of Force. Because in episode 1, we see him in fear. All the Jedi's masters say that he's in fear because, he was taken away from his mother, of course, by choice, but when you are I think he was 7 years old when they took, or 9, I don't know, but when he was taken from his mother, he was of course in fear. And then he, in the episode 2, he's in anger because they killed his mother and he killed everybody else in this village. So he's in anger. And then in the episode 3, he turns into the dark side. So I think that he was always on the dark side of Force in some way. Palpatine says that the vision of Padme dying was put into Anakin's head by him, and it was all just to manipulate him and turn him to the dark side, right? Because I think Anakin was always on the dark side, but he was kind of always he was in the light, but it was really full of the dark side. So he was genuinely just manipulated with Palpatine. But was he also manipulated by Palpatine in the episode 2 when he kills all the everybody because they killed his mother? Was he also manipulated by him? I don't think so, because Anakin did in a smaller scale, but something really similar to what he did in episode 3. So if he was capable of doing this on his own, was it really Palpatine that turned him evil, or was he always evil? Also, I want to add that Anakin is a tragic character, and Ben Solo kind of also is, but Anakin is he was literally tragic character. And I did cry on my favorite movie of this, which is the episode 3. I did cry when Anakin this scene just made me cry, and I started crying and I couldn't cry to the end of the film. There's the original trilogy, which is for me just basically nostalgia. I really like this, and I really also believe that Luke is the worst Jedi, and the best Jedi I would say is Anakin or Obi-Wan Kenobi. But Luke is definitely the worst original trilogy, and I loved it so much because it's so nostalgic for me. I do also believe that everything that happened and everybody that died needed to die, and it's just so perfectly written by George Lucas. The death of Padme and everything is as it was supposed to be. If something would be changed, I think it would not be as good as it is right now. And there is the sequels, and I have the most to talk about when it comes to sequels, because I think that sequels should not exist, because the prophecy says that Anakin will destroy the Siths and will bring balance to the Force, and he did. George Lucas confirmed it. The prophecy was right. He did all of that stuff. And the fact that the last 3 parts exist, literally is for me just a fun fact, because what are you saying? It basically means that Anakin didn't bring balance to the Force. And also, why would Rey call herself a Skywalker? I do like the backstory of Rey and the fact that it's how it's written. I really do like that stuff. But as I'm saying, I judge it as a sequel. I judge it as a fun fact. It's not a Star Wars movies for me. It's not. No, because the prophecy would not be true, and George Lucas confirmed it. This is just a baby. The sequels are just Disney's baby, and I judge it based on that. And I also hate Skywalker, Luke Skywalker. Why would he lock himself on some island? He was full of fear of destroying everything, and he was just even the actor says that that's not a Jedi thing to do. So you can really see how the actors are even pissed off Disney, Also the death of Han Solo is really lame, but I really can see him being trying to make his son turn into the good side and all that stuff, and that's why he got killed. But it was really just to kill him. It was nothing excited to do. I think that he deserved a much better way to die. I'm really heartbroken by Rey and the fact that she didn't care about Ben, because Ben gave her his life force and she just took it. He died and she got by her day nothing happened. So that was a really big scene for me that made me no, Ben Solo, don't die this way, you should die much better way. Also in sequels they didn't show us the scenes when they were like connecting with each other. They could see each other, like, I mean, Rey and Ben, they were connected by the Force and they saw each other, but we didn't get actually a picture. We got only one picture of how they saw each other, but it's not also how they saw each other, because they didn't see their surroundings, they just saw themselves. So that was really weird for me, and I really wanted to see that kind of scene, so I was pretty disappointed by that. Also, like, why the red-headed man turned into good side? What the hell? Are you also gonna tell me that Palpatine was good? I mean, please, that was so, like, minus points of aura, because what the hell are you telling me? That some evil character that was the evilest, almost, turned into good side? What the hell? That was just so lame to, like, make them that was, like, trapped on the Death Star to get out of them. I mean, that was just so lame. I hated it. I was like, oh my god, you really did that. Like, that's what you came up with. Nothing better. And also, as I said, Luke Skywalker, the worst Jedi. And the worst Jedi make even worse Jedi. Because how the hell Ben Solo was defeated by a girl that held the lightsaber for the first time in her life? How? I mean, that's just so lame of Ben. I mean, oh my god, that was terrible. Also, like, why the First Order had two leaders? I mean, the red-headed man and Ben Solo, and also, like, the Supreme Leader Snoke. I mean, who the hell was in charge of this? Because, like, Supreme Leader Snoke is Palpatine, right? Something like his kind, like Palpatine, right? And Ben Solo was kind of like Darth Vader, but who the hell was the, like, red-headed man, and why he held so much power? Because I can recall in previous parts to be somebody like him with so much power, because I know that, like, Darth Vader had his, like, people that he was saying what to do, but what the hell? And also, like, who the heck was, like, Supreme Leader Snoke? We didn't get any backstory. I still don't know who the hell he is. And I'm just thinking that, like, Disney fucked up. Especially, I really wanted to see, like, the hunt for Ben Solo, because I think that Adam Driver as Kylo Ren is to die for, and I won't get that. I mean, I'm so mad at Disney for what they did, and I would really love to watch sequels as a George Lucas story, not Disney. So sorry, guys. But yeah, that's, I think, all I wanted to say about Star Wars. So yeah, thanks guys for listening, and we're gonna hear when I'm gonna have something else to talk about. Yeah, enjoy Christmas break and Happy New Year.